Alright guys, so all-time high stream, there's like a good 80% chance that we break all-time highs during this stream. Um, I would not be shorting here. I know this is a very crucial point of rejection, but there's nothing stopping Bitcoin if it breaks out here from putting in a $5,000 candle. So just be cautious. The the risk to reward in shorting here is very low. Yes, these low time frame movements can give you, like, for example, if I were to go to like a 1 hour time frame, and we are at a fib extension right now. So if we just get, like, let's say a 500 or a $600 pullback, it's only like a percent down from here, right? So it's better to wait until we have a pullback in long than trying to short the top for a 1% or half a percent move. Just doesn't make sense. If you are wanting to short, I honestly think like this area here, 78 to 79K is a good short opportunity because this is, that next mental resistance to 80K. So we could see, a quick move there. Honestly, we could see something like this where we have a huge breakout, right? This puts in like a 7.5, or was this a 7K candle to the highs, right? About a 5K candle, and then we reject, have a huge capitulation move down. Again, grab liquidity for a further move up. So I wouldn't short here. I would wait until higher. That golden pocket comes around 78 to 79K, and then if we get daily closures above 80K, that's where I'd be looking to close. However, red button for me is disabled. I'll go ahead and share this just in case here. Now, now let's talk about that low time frame move. All right, so let me switch charts really quickly. And everything I've said in the videos, every limit that I've given in the past is now off the table. Okay, we have broken from this low time frame range. I don't think we see 63K. If we do, it's going to be, some type of black swan event that, we go back down like this and fill. But every time that we've had a flush, whether it's by some bearish news or the government or war, it's honestly, it was just a way to regain fuel and push us higher. Okay, so this recent move that we had from 69 down to like 65.5, whatever it was just enough to propel us higher. Any move that we get like that again, where we go down 3 to 4K, I'd say it's a very good buying opportunity. Now, he said it the best, and his name is CBS, Cold Blooded Schiller. I don't know if you guys follow him, but he said it the best. He said, start at the balls and make. Never mind, that's a wrong quote. One sec. He said that basically your entry doesn't matter. All right. Don't be so like fixated on trying to get the perfect entry. All right. So a lot of you guys, I know you guys are trading leverage or spot, whatever it may be. Don't be so obsessed with that predefined target. If you want scale in slow, keep your leverage low. It's all about being positioned for that move up. Now you have to keep a high time frame invalidation. So for example, let's say, okay, let's go to a lower time frame here. I'm not saying we get this move, but let's say, okay, that we go and retest this previous all-time high on the lower time or local highs at 69.5, right? And we continue to dip to, like, let's say 68K, all right? So you start positioning yourself, whether it's on spot or leverage, around 69.5, and then you slowly DCA, okay? But in order to do this, you can't be on high leverage or high position sizing immediately. So it's about getting in, rather than having the perfect entry. All right, so we could do something like this and then continue to go higher, putting in another higher low, right? So don't be so fixated on trying to get the perfect entry. From now on, any low time frame pullback, in my opinion, like I said, is a buy. And we want to focus on getting position to the upside. Now, we haven't really had any movements on altcoins. Yes, they're up. Like for example, Doge is up because I've discussed this in my last video. The BTC pairing was very good at that time. Sol is up, but look, like it's only up 1% on the day. Doge is up 8%, right? Injective, so on and so forth. Like Sui's up 15%. So you want to focus on altcoins that have really good BTC pairings. Okay, like Sol. Again, I mentioned this on my video. Sol BTC. Okay, like if we are to dump here, like Bitcoin, Sol's gonna take a huge hit. All right, we rejected right from basically the resistance area, and Bitcoin's at all-time highs. Sol is not even close to where it was at 200 when Bitcoin was at its all-time highs prior, right? Like we broke 52 to 60K, and Sol was at 207, and we're not even close to that while Bitcoin's at all-time highs, all right? But if we take a look at Sui, for example, okay, while BTC is only, or sorry, while Sol is only up 1%, notice how Sui grabbed all of these lows, right? Put in a failure, swing pattern failure, right? Liquidity sweep, and then pushed up. Okay. You could also say that Sui did break out. Okay. So these are the type of charts that you want to take a look at. All right. And if Bitcoin does retrace, these coins will hold relatively well on the USDT pairing. And rebound harder when Bitcoin pumps. All right. But right now, the focus is only on Bitcoin. I will go over altcoins as well. I have a pretty short stream on my end. I will only be here till 12:45ish. It is tax season, so I'm pretty busy. But let's quickly discuss Bitcoin, and then we'll jump into the strong alts. All right. So low time frame, we had this huge impulsive move up. We are $300 away from all-time highs. Where are we going to get the pullback? So we have to go to lower time frames such as the 1 hour. And here is one area where we could bounce from. All right. We have a demand zone. Right. Move up, strong consolidation. Whoa. We did actually break out on the low time frame and retest previous all-time highs, or this local highs. Right, we still have this one that hasn't been retested. Actually, it has on a lower time frame. Right, there's a breakout, there's the retest. So right now, everything is a low time frame type trade. We're gonna break it by the time I'm done finishing. You'll probably see a quick, swift move up and then a rejection down. All right, so if you want to get into scalps, this is the area to do so. Now, again, scalps are going to be very risky here because we're close to all-time highs, and the rejections could be, I wouldn't say fatal, but pretty tough. But this would be an area where we could bounce from. So a 1% move back down to this SR area and the demand zone does make sense. This is where I would be able to take it. Probably, play the whole entire area. So 71,500-ish down to 70.9. And my stop loss, if I were doing this, would be a soft stop loss. Because you could see, a quick wick like this and then continue back up. So have a soft stop loss with a 1 hour closure below 70.8. Do 70.7. And if you want a hard stop loss because you're not able to manage, I'd probably do like 620. And you're going to be basically targeting 75K. All right, so I'll put this, but again, everything is going to be a little like this. From here to there is about a 3% move. So this would be a good area to get long. Now on a higher time frame, Okay, if for some reason or magical way that we get back to 69.5, front run that and long 69,600 all the way down to, let's say, 68.3. Right, we have this order block. So starting longs, and again, I'm targeting 75k if we get that again. All right, would be another great area to get into a higher low. So these would be the two plays that I'd be looking for. I wouldn't be longing here, and I wouldn't definitely not be shorting here. All right. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin dominance. Okay, this thing is an absolute madhouse right now. All right, 60 to 61% was my target. I mean, we can go to a higher time frame, such as the weekly. Okay, I've been posting about this level since August. It's been on my Twitter, it's been in my channel, but 60 to 61% is my target. We are still in an uptrend, right? But if we can just reject from here, perfect SR area to do so, maybe a final push into this order block here on the weekly. But if we are able to reject from here, alts will go crazy. Yes, if Bitcoin goes down, like I showed you, Sol, for example, is one that's going to be hit hard because of how the BTC pairing is looked. But that's a perfect opportunity to load up on your favorite alts, especially ones that have strong BTC pairings, because when the rebound happens, it's going to be like magnificent. All right, so I expect this to have a little bit more upside, and I don't know if you guys were here when we were discussing the breakout of 52k. Okay, so here. Okay, here's the resistance, right? We had this breakout back in February. Okay, now if I were to let's for example take Sol here. All right, and let's take a look at this. Okay, so February. Let's get it on the 3-day chart. So this February move, right, was just, sorry the squeaking, was just Bitcoin going up first, right? Bitcoin goes up, and then coins followed it after, it made its high, right? Like Bitcoin's high stopped in March like 4th. Sol continued to go up until like the 19th. Okay, so once we break out, it's my dog. One sec, give me a second. She's a puppy. I'm at a different area, so she's not used to it. She's using her little chew toy. My ladies. So once Bitcoin finishes its move, then profits flow into other large caps, right? Like if we take a look at here, for example, Sol, right? Sol went in like 2 weeks after, continued the grind up. We take a look at ETH, right? ETH continued its grind up again 2 weeks later. So we want to focus on Bitcoin first. We want Bitcoin to rally. So first step is currently in play, and then we can focus on other coins. Now, how long do we have until coins, run? I don't know. We have elections next week. So is this going to be a sell the news event? Possibly. Is this going to be rally after the elections? Possibly. But what we don't, or I guess what a lot of people aren't talking about is, if Trump wins, right? Trump's not going to be president until January, all right? If Kamala wins, again, she's not going to be president until January. So this is just like we can dip when Trump wins, we can dip when Kamala wins, and then still rally, going into January. Okay, so one event is not going to have a massive effect on the markets over the course of 3 months. It could dip, it could pump, that the same day, the week of, but realistically, over the course of, the next 2 to 3 months, it's not going to change. So we just keep that in mind. Like Trump doesn't immediately become president if he wins the nomination or the elections, right? He starts till January. Um, and that's what I've been arguing with a lot about, on Twitter with these numbskulls. But Bitcoin leads, Bitcoin dominance dumps, profits flow into ETH. Hopefully, ETH has been much weaker compared to everything else, but we just had a breakout on the lower time frame. Right? If I go to the daily, ETH has just broken out. I hope it's not another deviation, but this looks good for 2800 continuation. This is the first boss to flip, and this was a play that I gave in my video 2 days ago, to market long and aim for 2800. I'm spot long. It was the same entry, so there's no point in giving in spot. But 2800 flip, this will go to like 35, 3300, 33, 3500. All right, so we got to take it level by level first. I expect rejection from this level again, just like we had here. We're still range bound on ETH here, right? We have the highs, we have the lows, we are above mid range over here. Okay, so we could actually go and retest 2560-ish for, again, a retest of this wedge and then higher, right? That would be your confirmation to long if we were to retest. But again, if you are not in ETH, honestly, this looks good for a scalp. Okay, so order block. I know I said it's a scalp, but like stop loss is too wide. I mean, if you're gonna enter at mid range, you can have your stop loss a little bit lower, around 2460-ish, and target here. Or if you want to turn it into a swing trade, granted Bitcoin doesn't completely nuke itself, target 33. Okay, so scalp, this one's already given. Now this can also be a confirmation based on the retest. If the retest happens and holds, then that would be a completely different play. But you're playing this one off of an order block. All right, so let me just, whoa, what was that? Oh, one sec. Let me turn off the useless ones. Okay. So from here to those highs, yeah, I would take that. I don't think we get a deep retrace unless Bitcoin completely nukes. So I like this play, and I'll post this here. All right. Oof. Notice how Sol got hit the hardest, right? We discussed this. The BTC pairing was awful. Okay. It looks like Vitalik on a normal day, not happy. If you catch my drift on that. So, and then Bitcoin rejected from the 382 fib. Okay, so it's going to have trouble here, but if it does break out, expect a 5K candle. Okay, now other strong coins that we want to focus on, Popcat and WIF. Okay, why is Popcat so strong? Again, I'll show you, but the quick answer is BTC pairing. Okay, it actually broke, one sec. It actually broke its all-time high, so it's going to keep running here. So let's take a look at this, and let's take a look at There's no BTC pairing for this. All right. All right. So the reason this continued higher is we had a channel breakout to the upside. Well, okay. So where can we possibly get long on this? Now there's two places depending on how big of a nuke that we get. First place is order block, which would also be close to the previous highs. So like, okay. Another thing I want you guys to keep in mind when we go into price discovery, whatever the coin is, whenever we retest, like for example, this coin broke out, right? We went from 68 up to what 72, and then we retested. Actually, it went a little bit higher. We went to like 76, came back down to 69. Whenever we break out, whether a new all-time high has been made, right, or not, whenever we break out from local highs or all-time highs, the retest will always provide a bounce. Always. It doesn't matter what coin you take a look at, right? We can take a look at Injective when it broke its all-time highs. We can take a look at WIF when it broke its all-time highs. Don't FOMO into this breakout. Play the retest. Here's the breakout, right? Fake under. Again, retest there. And that retest gave you a nice, right, 8% move. Okay. Now we have highs here. If this continues to run, wait for that retest before you get long. So two areas where we could get long is one, this order block here at 56, which could be hard to get, or two, let's go to a lower time frame, and this would be a scalp. I don't like this candle, so this one's going to be a very riskier one. Okay. So around 173. Yeah, it's a risky one. I don't like this candle. Play it a little bit safer. Go mid. So around 172, stops around 169-ish, and you're going to target the wick high. From this wick to that high, I mean, you can take it from multiple wicks. I'm taking it from this this final red wick to the wick high, and the entry is between the golden pocket and the 786 reversal fib. All right, so very, very tight risk here. It's about a 2% risk. Use small position sizing, and you're going to target to the highs. Okay, as granted, Bitcoin doesn't take a massive, colossal move to the downside from here. All right, otherwise, if we do, let's say we get that 70K or 69.5K, I really like this here. DCA within the zone, bring your average down. Not guaranteed we get this, but these would be the two plays here. Notice I'm not shorting anything. Holding for 2. Yeah, this definitely goes high. Like if we can retest this channel breakout on a lower time frame, retest it, which hopefully falls perfectly in line with our entry, maybe a wick into our entry, then yes, we can definitely target $2. Another good channel breakout that we just had was Dogecoin. Right? Very strong coin. Fucking weirdo. Okay, one sec. Now the question is, where do we take the channel breakout from? Right? You can take this channel breakout to the upside. You can take You can take this channel, right? Whatever channel you're taking, okay, this on a lower time frame did retest, right? Breakout, retest. So same thing applies to Popcat. Breakout, retest on a lower time frame, this can continue to go higher, right? Doge, very crucial area that we rejected from. Notice how I said I don't care if this goes higher, I'm taking profit. Major resistance. Now we took sell side liquidity here. Okay, this could easily retrace. We had a huge impulsive move. I can see us possibly going back to this was resistance here, or sorry, it was support. We broke down. It became an SR, right? Broke out, flipped it back to support. So around 15.7 to 16 cents, I can see us going. We do have a 4-hour demand zone here as well. So 2 plays. If this is going to be, that's a disgusting candle, but if this is going to be our new range, I'm foreshadowing, I'm not certain. Give yourself a couple of options here. The risk to reward isn't great on this one. I probably play this. One sec. I have to go to a lower time frame. Yeah, let's play that. Stops below wick. So you're looking for a quick 1% gain. Right, so that's your TP. It's about a 2.5 hour trade. We're playing this order block here within this 4-hour demand zone, which is also an SR point. Okay, DCA down at support, 1-hour closure below the wicks. Okay, so this would be a soft stop loss, 1-hour closure below the wicks. You can go ahead and manually close out and then play the range low. So let me post both of these. Okay. Okay, let me answer some questions before I move on. What about hedging? Hedging is perfect here. Like if you have a very good entry, let's take Bitcoin for example. Okay, let's say you have a perfect entry from here, right? 67 to 68, whatever. You can have, or if you're hedging against your spot buys, you can have one of 2 different options here. You can go for, if you are leveraged, you can go for a half hedge, meaning if you have, let's say, 1 Bitcoin long here, then opening up. Wait, did we just reject exactly from all time? No, we didn't. You can have a half Bitcoin short, right? So if Bitcoin goes down, your long is going down too, but at least you're making some profit. It's not 1-to-1, but it's good. Now, if you are in from much lower, and this is from, I'm saying like your spot buys, for example, on Sol. Let's say you're in from like 150 to 155 range, right? Then you could do a 1-to-1 hedge. Okay, I wouldn't do this when you're so close up to current price action, but has to be far enough to give yourself that okay range from current price to your entry. So let's say you bought at 155 to 150, and we're up $30 at this point. Then you could have a 1-to-1 hedge. What does that mean? You have 30 Sol in your spot bag. You open up a 30 Sol short. All right. Now price goes down, you make money, but also you lose money on your spot. But it doesn't matter because you're up still, right? If price goes against you, against your short, again, you're making money from your spot but losing on your leverage trade. So it's a wash. However, this can be very beneficial because let's say this candle is disgusting, by the way, but let's say we get a nice what, $5 drop from here, right? Or $6 drop, 30 coins, you made 180 bucks, right? You lose $180 from your spot position, but now you have $180 that you can buy more SOL with if you wanted. Add one more SOL to your position, or you can add, more altcoins to your position. All right. So in essence, you have a wash trade in terms of profits, but you have more profits to buy spot with. You shouldn't hedge unless you are, again, in from much, much lower or from a good position. Okay? If you are not in from a good position, let's say, again, let's use this example. If you got in from 67 to 68K, then you should open up a half hedge, not a one-to-one hedge. All right? Another strong coin, Sui, obviously. Yes, I saw it. Don't mind this. I was doing something. Okay. So every time Sui puts in either a double bottom, a triple bottom, or a sweep of the lows, it runs. Okay. So here's an example. Lows, this was actually sweeped, right? Continue to run higher. This one, we had the wick, sweeped it, closed above, gave you a 6% move. You had this one, right? Sweeped it and then continued to run. This actually not only sweeped that, but put in a equal low slash triple bottom and then continued to run. Okay, this is actually broken structure to the upside, because if we're talking about market structure, right, here's your higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then talk about lower high, broke out, made a higher high, retested the previous higher lower high, put in a higher low, and now we have structure to the upside. Now again, this goes again for downside movements. Every time this has taken topside liquidity, we have fallen down. Okay, so here is another one. Is this time going to be different? If we close the candle like this, we have a doji, and most likely we go lower. I'd probably wait for candle closure before shorting, but this would be the setup. Okay, I would love for us to go a little bit higher so we have lower risk, but it would be a market play, stops above the wick and target lower, hopefully into another higher low, and then continue higher. So this is a confirmation type trade. Okay. Longs around this area is actually pretty decent too. Okay. All right. So those are the coins that I'm currently looking at. Right. So I'm only looking at Popcat, Dogecoin, Sui, Sol, ETH, and BTC. WIF is also another strong one, but again, all these candles currently look like they want some type of retrace. This again has broken structure to the upside as well, right? And actually has broken out. So here is the last higher low, or sorry, lower high. And even if you take this one, doesn't matter where, whatever. But also on a candle, okay, we had every time this breaks out, whether it's from a falling wedge, bull flag, a deep channel, whatever it is, whenever this breaks out, it runs. Okay, so here is, we're talking about a channel there, right? Here's a falling wedge. There's the breakout. We never got a clean retest, so I think anywhere between 250 down to 240 as a buy, in my opinion, which would also put in another higher low and a retest of this channel breakout. Okay. Stop loss, it's tough because I don't know how far we'll go before the retest. The retest has to happen to get long. So if the retest happens at 240, then entry's at 240. But the longer this takes, it's going to push us further and further away from the retest. So I will actually give this as a market call when I see it, but keep your eyes out on this. Put, alerts on the trend line when it's nearing it, or near 250-ish. But if you're looking for spot, I'd buy 250 down to 240. Again, we don't care about the price. We're not trying to time the bottom. And again, we're going to look for a $3 move up. Stop loss probably 4-hour closure below 233. Okay, so it's about a 3-hour trade. Okay. Did this just happen? Let's see. Okay. I can take about 5 coins to do a look over. Near is the first one. Near is very close to being far. It's about to lose the trend line. We rejected from previous support, now turn into resistance, close below the trend line. This probably goes much lower, right? You're looking for that retest. See how we rejected? Closed below, but we didn't reject. We closed right along. You're looking for a close below, rejection from the trend line, and then you can open up a short. Stops probably like somewhere there. No longs until this support is reclaimed or this resistance is reclaimed. And if that happens, this would be your setup. It's a clear range here, so if we reclaim it, it's going to be a deviation. So we need that reclaim to happen to target range highs. Tia. All right. I mean, I haven't changed my TA on this, but we do have an unlock coming, right? So I think it's an 80% unlock too of like market cap, which could be disgusting. But here is your range. This is a whole bunch of indecisiveness currently. this has been holding. I don't know how the unlock is going to unfold, but if you get this dip, I'd probably play it. We've lost the trend line. We've closed below. This is possibly rejecting it. We still have 4 hours for this to close. Close below, you could possibly take a scalp short. I don't like the R&R there. Still don't like the R&R, but if we close below, that would be your play. This one doesn't look enticing at all. There are better coins to trade, in my opinion. FTM. FTM had a nice sweep of the lows here. This is still resistance. So again, clear range here. If you want to, be a super hero, you can short range highs. Double top. Got a little demand zone here. Maybe into another higher low. Stop loss below the wick. And you target possibly into a triple top. Okay, it has broken structure to the upside on this low impulse move, right? If this was your last lower high, we have broken above it. Come back down here into another higher low, makes sense. Go and do something like this. Right, come back down. Inverse head and shoulders, and much higher. So any low time frame impulse dip on any coins, in my opinion, is a buy. But this is a clear range. You're going to play the range until broken. If we get a dip to range lows again, you're going to buy. I'll just go ahead and put that just, so we can understand how to play the range. Okay, so we have basically 3 options here. Range low, mid-range, range highs, and you're going to play that. Floki. Can't believe I got baited out of my... So we lost the trend, deviated back, reclaimed it. We are at resistance here. Okay, we have a nice wedge forming here. Above this, you'll target the highs. Okay, if we break out from these highs here, you have a very nice impulsive move for about like 40%, but we're not going to get carried away. We'll focus on the low time frame here. Any move back down to the trend line, I think, is a long. You have easy invalidation. Lose the trend line. Cut your short, cut your long. Right, so any move like this, close below, reject, close below, you can go ahead and cut. Or if you're trading spot, then you have easy invalidation here, right? You buy here, close if we have a 4-hour closure below. Buy, target the range highs. Yeah, it's also a retest of previous support, now turned SR. If Doge continues to do well, this coin will do well. All right. Okay, let me see. We have. I already did Sol. I already did say. Jupe was covered in my video. I'll do APT. Okay. So this kind of looks like Floki. I hate this coin, but I've never had good luck trading this coin. I don't see anything. You have an SR point here. Yeah, I'd probably go lower. So entry with the 4-hour fib, or sorry, the 4-hour order block here. Okay, you have trendline confluence. You have a golden pocket. Target the highs. 1-hour scalp. Probably something like this. This will probably get stopped out, but I'll give every single. And then TP3. Shorting the highs does make sense as well. So taking a short here does make sense. Yikes. Super. Clear range. If we finish that as a bearish engulfing candle, this probably goes lower. See how we bearish engulfing candle this one, right? in case we get range lows. We reject it from range highs. This is why if it's a clear range, it doesn't matter if we're bull or bear, right? You play whatever is given to you. You obviously are not going to short something close to all-time highs, but clear range, that was a perfect rejection from it. Scalp play, I wouldn't take this one. The risk to reward isn't that great. But just range bound. SR point, retest to the highs again. I don't see anything else. Okay, I got one more coin in me. Let's do I'm not doing Popcat. Okay, I'm going to do Maker. I'm going to do Pendle. All right. My students here will get a vote. Perks of being a student. All right, let's take a look at Maker. I don't think there's a worse chart out there that we've discussed than this one. All right. Weekly put in, a nice support bounce. If this doesn't, pump from here, I don't know what to tell you. But you have, honestly, like, if ETH pumps, this will pump. Okay, supply zone. I honestly would go in very low leverage if you want to take this trade. Manual close with a weekly closure below here. Target 1500. But I mean, look at this. Okay, maybe not beat the Coinbase chart. Yeah. Better coins to take a look at. This is making all-time lows on BTC pairings. It's going to get hit hard if Bitcoin dumps. So this would be the only logical play. What was the other one? It was Pendle. Phantom, I think you asked for this last time, and I think this was the setup that I gave you. I think it did well. Let's start this from scratch. So daily, if we close like this, we have a sweep of the highs. Most likely look to, if you haven't sold from lower, this would be the area to sell, to take some profit. Yeah, I know most likely if I share a chart and don't look at it for a while, and the plays that I don't take, they're most likely perfect. But here's your range, right? So I don't know if we get that deep of a move. Shorting at the highs here again makes sense. Otherwise, deep pullback into an SR retest. Let's go to a lower time frame. Yeah, there's nowhere too long, especially if we, again, another bearish engulfing candle, we could pull something like this. All right, so I don't see anywhere to long on a low time frame here other than this retest at 466-ish. Maybe low time frame scalp here at the support. But very, very tight stop. I wouldn't even trust this one. Okay. I didn't post my Sol chart. I don't think we came up with an entry on Sol. But let me quickly go over this one. This will be the last one that I'm going to dip. Nope, this is the last chart. Sorry. I gotta head out. Also, Pepe's a shitcoin. It's only a good academy, but a shitcoin. Low time frame, it needs to bounce here. Previous highs, retest. I don't like how we just put in that candle, which also took out the highs. So again, if you're really wanting to buy this coin, 173 down to 164, you won't find that perfect entry, but a good leverage play will be around 169, target 200. I don't see anything like closer because BTC looks the BTC pairing looks disgusting. Watch I talked about in the first beginning, but the BTC pairing looks terrible, which if we do reject here, we will have a deep retrace on Sol. So entry around 173 down to 164 for spot. Okay. Mumu is a hold. I'm still holding it. We are near break even if you DC it how I did. 57.2 is my average. This is going to be it's like a midterm hold. So above this level again, we have some fun. Otherwise, we hold it for now. All right. So that's it from me, guys. I got to head back. I'll catch you guys later.